Hi everyone, and welcome to my weekly tarot card reading for all zodiac signs. I put the sign I'm reading at the top of the video so you can easily scroll through and find the sign you're looking for. Now remember, this is a general reading, though I sometimes get specific messages for someone who needs to hear them, so be patient, as some weeks may resonate for you and others may not. I'd also recommend looking at both your sun and ascendant sign, if you know what that is. Also, this is a great opportunity to try and use your own intuition when I show the cards, to see what message you get for yourself. It's great practice. For that, I'd recommend pausing the video and sitting quietly to see what resonates for you when you're looking at the cards. I'd love to hear what comes up for you, so let me know in the comments below. Okay. Let's get started. Okay, everyone, let's get started with our weekly tarot card reading. And this week I am using the Dreaming Way tarot deck. So let's get started with Aries and see what we have going on for you, Aries, for this week. Okay, Aries, for you this week, I feel like you are so determined this week to accomplish something. You have a goal set and you really want to get there. And I feel like for you, the advice here is to just be careful of paying attention to what others feel about achieving the same goal. This can be in regards to a partner. If you have your mind set on doing something and they might not feel the same way, just be careful of how you're going about it, because words may be said that you may have hurt someone. Because I feel like here that someone is hurt based on maybe you not listening to their opinions on the matter. And because it's so sensitive, I'm drawn to a partnership here. But it also could be in a work-related scenario. You just might be ready to go, ready to aim your goals, and you know what you want, and you're not paying attention possibly to someone else's ideas. If you are a leader in a business scenario, just pay attention to others' ideas and give them at least acknowledgement from their ideas. It doesn't mean you have to go with their ideas. If you absolutely know that no, there's no way we can accomplish it this way, at least acknowledge their ideas. I feel like you're so confident in what you're trying to pursue, you're willing to put money on it, which to me senses that there may be some investment you're looking to do at this time. And again, if you have a long-term partner, a committed relationship, make sure that everybody's on the same page, that you're both on the same page with where your money is going. This can be investment in property, this can be investment in the stock market, this can be investment in a valued item. I don't think it's anything trivial. I think this is a valued item. Just make sure that you are on the same page and having a conversation with someone close to you in regards to this. But you're definitely determined to make something happen. That's what I keep feeling, and I feel this strong energy from you about making things happen. So you will. It is a good investment if you believe it in your heart, but the message here is just to make sure that you're aware of people's feelings so that you don't say something that could hurt their feelings. And you don't mean it. I don't feel that you mean to hurt anybody. I feel that in your determination, you may just not acknowledge their feelings or their ideas. So just pay attention to that, and the week will go very smoothly. So, great week for you, dear Aries. Good luck. Okay, now we are going to move on to Taurus. Let's see what we have going on for you, Taurus, this week. Okay, Taurus, money is a concern for you this week. There is something that you're worried about as far as how you're going to provide for your family. Some of you might have maybe lost their job this week. Again, this is not going to apply to everybody. This is a general reading, but I'm just coming up with the things that I'm hearing and feeling for this week. There is some concern you have about someone that you're responsible for. This could be a child. This could be someone who is dependent on you. It doesn't have to be your natural child. It could be someone you're taking care of, an adopted child. There's somebody that you need to provide for in some cases. It could be a relative that needs your help financially, because I'm feeling a lot of dependence here. There's someone dependent on you, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to handle the situation. It is weighing on your mind, but the guidance here says not to worry. Things will happen naturally, and things will pop up in ways you didn't expect them. So I'm feeling that as of today, if this applies to you, you're not going to see it on how this is going to happen, but it will happen. Someone is guiding you, possibly from the other side, looking out for you. So if you have lost someone, a family member, and now you're responsible for their child, because this could be the scenario, that family member on the other side is looking out for you and is going to be able to help you and guide you to handle this situation, because you so very much want to take care of this person and help them. So somebody is looking for your help. It could be a young child, it could be teenage years. It's somebody who needs your help. Now, it could even be an older adult that needs your help as well. So I feel there's a lot of you in this nurturing capacity this week, but that feeling of how am I going to manage this? Now, it could also mean, because that's very specific, so that could be just a message for one or two of you. But on a general note, this week you are being very nurturing and caring about who you're surrounded with, your family. Now, this can be your immediate family. This could be your nucleus. This is your tribe. You're very nurturing about your tribe, and there may be some sort of community that is in risk. There's a risk of a community, possibly, maybe a disbanding of a community. Now, this could be an online community. I mean, I'm trying to be as general here as possible so that you understand it doesn't have to be physical location, but it could be an online community. People that you call your tribe. This could be a work scenario. This could be you trying to make sure that everybody's coming together on a project. It's that type of feeling, an overall feeling of nurturing of people. That's the feeling I'm getting, but they need you. So if you're involved in a work project where others need you, they will be relying on you, and it may be a little bit overwhelming for you this week. But don't worry, because it is all going to work out. If you are in that feeling right at this moment, it will all work out, and someone is looking out for you to make things happen. The other thing too is the message here I'm getting is don't put a lot of this on your shoulders, as far as it's all up to me if this project is a success or not. There's a lot of feeling that it all comes down to you. So you may be a crucial piece of a project in work where you're the one that everybody's waiting for to come up with this idea or to fix this. If it's a mechanical thing and you're trying to solve some kind of a problem, you're the one that has to fix this cog in the wheel that isn't working, and they're all relying on your knowledge. So there's some knowledge of something that you have that other people are relying on. So that's an overall general message for most people. And then again, that specific message that came up right away for me. But you will come up with this idea. This will happen. You can't see it now. That's the other thing, is you can't see it right now, but it will appear. It's like whether you get the answer in the middle of the night and you wake up from a dream, or you're doing something like gardening in your yard and you're realizing that, wow, this trowel I'm using to digging with can be helpful in this and that. You know, something that you're doing that's not for that project is going to bring out that idea of how to solve this problem. So it will all work out in the end. You will get what you're looking to do. So great week for you, dear Taurus. Okay, now we're moving on to Gemini. What do we have going on for you, Gemini, for this week? Okay, Gemini, this is going to be a busy week for you. But it's not going to be an easy week, necessarily. I know those are things you don't want to hear from me, but you have a lot going on. You have a lot to do. And there is going to be some obstacles that are going to be in your way. I've gotten this feeling that some of you may be planning an event, and there's a lot of pieces to this event. And it's a very important event. It's special. I'm feeling that it's special, or the event you're planning or helping to plan is for someone who is special to you. There's a closeness I'm feeling. So it's very important for you to make sure that everything goes right. Everything is planned. Now, this could be a graduation, a wedding, birthday, an anniversary. It's a big event, and it has a lot of pieces to it. There's a lot that you have to do. And you're determined to get it done. You're going to make it successful. It's for somebody that you care about. And there are going to be obstacles. But you are going to get it all done because of your determination. I feel like it doesn't even matter. You know, if a vendor no longer has that particular cake, you'll go out and make your own cake. You're going to figure out how to make it happen, and it will go smoothly. There is a lot of caring and love put into this event. So this person is very special to you, and you're excited about this. And you're not going to let anything stop you for doing this. Now, again, this could be very specific because it is considering an event. Not everyone is planning an event. So in a general term, for the rest of you who this doesn't apply to, I'm getting specific messages from this deck today. So there are certain people that need to hear messages. But in a general sense, you are determined to plan something. Now, if it's in work, you could be planning an event. You could be planning a trade show or some event where there's a lot of different things that you have to make sure happen at the right time. Because I'm feeling event. It could be a conference. It could be a training session. It could be anything where people are going to come together, where you have to plan different elements of something. And that's why event is coming up very strongly from me. Like you have to plan the location and the food and the housing and it's all of those different pieces. And I'm just strongly drawn to events. So think about it if you're in work and you have to plan an event or a conference or a training. There's something that you're in charge of, or you're leading, or you're the main person to put all these logistics together. And that's why I feel like it's going to be a very busy week for you, because there are so many things and there's going to be hiccups along the way. Someone may not have what you're looking for. The hotel doesn't have enough rooms, or the restaurant caterer is no longer catering. Things like that. You're just going to come up with things like that, but it will happen. And it's also too around money, as far as, do you have enough money to make this happen? So going back to that specific event for a family member or in your personal life, maybe the event that you're planning is getting out of control. There's just too many things happening, and how are we going to pay for it all? Like, now it's getting overwhelming. That's on your mind too. There's just a lot happening, and it could get expensive. And maybe these delays are going to make it expensive, because now you have to go with a more expensive vendor, a more expensive something to make sure that is incorporated into the event. And that goes for the general sense of maybe something that you're doing in work. So you will get it all done. I feel this rush from you. It will happen. I'm feeling that there may be one missing piece that you have to close up, but you'll get it. You'll definitely get it. So great week for you, dear Gemini. Okay, now we're moving on to Cancer. What do we have going on for you, Cancer, for this week? Okay, Cancer. So this week for you is very interesting. It's sort of an emotional week, I'm feeling, for you, Cancer. There is some melancholy. That's the word I'm feeling, melancholy for you. There may be something missing emotionally from your life. And I feel like for you, it's something that's deep with you. And it may be something that you don't share with the world, this emotion. So I feel that some of you may be wanting to be alone to cope with what it is emotionally that you're struggling with. There is an emotional struggle for you this week. How are you gonna balance this? Because it's sort of overtaking you at this moment. It almost feels like a sadness of a loss. Some of you might have actually had a loss in your life. This doesn't actually have to mean that you lost someone, like as in a death, but maybe a relationship or something that you don't feel like you have anymore, that sort of emotionally tied you, made you feel whole. There's something missing. And there's a lot of melancholy about it. Now, it could mean that you physically, you lost someone to the other side, and you're struggling with that sense of how you're going to make it without this person. It's just kind of a sad, sad time. But for those of you this doesn't apply to, it just might be an emotional week for you, Cancer. I feel like you're very much going inward this week. And you may not be your natural self out in the world, in your work, whatever you do in the world. The message here says that you will have the strength to move forward, and there are a lot of people around you who care about you, and they don't know how to handle this feeling because they notice it. There are people in your life, they're noticing this from you, and you may not even realize it, but they're watching out for you. They care about you, and they want to see that you're managing this okay. So in Cancer, you're normally the nurturing sign, but this week I feel that people are going to want to nurture you because they're sensing something. I don't feel like you're going around talking about this, whatever it is that's bothering you, but people are sensing it from you. And so they're going to take on that nurturing role that you usually take. They're going to do it for you. They're going to come in like the cavalry's coming in to save you. They're all going to give you extra attention and caring. The funny thing though is you may not even notice that right now. If this does apply to you, this sounds pretty specific. Not everybody's going to have a melancholy week, but generally most people are going to be, I'm sensing, emotional this week. So just hang in there because it's just temporary. I feel like this is very temporary, but people will be there for you. So if this does apply to you, just open your eyes a bit and notice the people that are taking on that nurturing role for you. And I think that will comfort you in a big way this week. All right. Okay, now we're going to move on to Leo. Oh, Leo, you want that right away. Okay, Leo, I feel like this is going to be a very successful week for you. I feel like it's finally happening for you. There's something that is, whether it's something that's coming in for you financially that you've been waiting for, I feel like it's something that you have been working hard towards and not achieving, possibly. And all of a sudden this week, ta-da! Now it doesn't have to be specifically this week. It could have been, working up to this point and you've seen it coming. But I keep hearing, ta-da! It's done. Like it's come in for you. There's something that has come in for you. Now, I want to try to be as general as possible here because this is a general reading and it can be anything specifically. Unless I hear a message that I need to relay to you, I am going to tell you that this has to do with finances. So whether you get a job that you've always wanted, if you've made an investment and it's finally paying off, whether you have gotten some kind of opportunity, whether you have an agreement, a contract that you've been working on. This can be in so many ways. I mean, I could rattle off a million things for you, but what I'm feeling overall is it's an investment and it's money, financial monies are coming to you. But it's not like luck, like a lottery. Oh, I got the right ticket. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with your hard work and your persistence in achieving something. Like you've always had this goal in sight and you've worked really hard to get here. And I feel like it's gonna finally pay off for you. This can be in a small way and it can be in a large way. It depends on your life's journey. But I feel like at this moment in time with this news, because it's gonna be news that comes in, you are gonna be able to just take a breath and put your shoulders back. You're gonna feel proud, and you're gonna feel like you've completed something. And it's gonna make you feel very proud, because I'm feeling that pride from you. But you can relax. It's not like a boasting. You're not gonna be proud where you're going around telling everybody about all of this. It's an internal boasting. You are now feeling like confident that all the work that you've done in the past is paying off. And you can see it, and you know now what it takes. And it's almost like you come to the end of the road and you think, wow, look at all the things that I kept going with. I could have stopped at any moment, but I didn't. I just kept plugging away. And it could be in small ways throughout many, many years, or it can be within big ways in many months, you know? So it also could be around a project that you've been working on in your career, in your job, where you put a lot of hard work and it's now a success. I know this has come up for me in some readings, so I don't know why I never hear engineer, but maybe somebody's watching who's an engineer, because I feel like there could be some product that you're working on that will be a success for the company, and you had a really influential piece of that project. You've been very influential in making that product come to life, and it is successful for the company. So those type of things that is coming up for me. It is just about you either building, you could be, building something at home, and you've been working on this prototype, and ta-da, here it is, it works. And now you can pitch it or start a company with it. It's that type of thing where it's all based on something you have done. I don't feel like this is in a group. I feel like it's all because of you. It could be an idea that you've had that is just, you might have hired out people to build it for you or to do something for you, but it will be a success. And because I use the word build, I'm also going to include a house even. If you've designed a house or built a house or something like that, something builds. So again, this is a general reading. Please take this as how it applies in your life, but that is the overall feeling I'm getting for you this week, dear Leo. Okay, now we're moving on to Virgo. Let's see what we have going on for you, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, you are very busy with work this week. I feel like for you, you are paying attention, as usual, to details. I laughed as I saw this reading come off because there are things that need to be done. I think other people don't see it the way you see it, but there are details that need to be attended to. That's what I'm hearing, and you know it. And I feel like you're going to help bring something to life that needs it, that is maybe halfway there. I feel like there may be a project of some sort that isn't finalized, but you know how to finalize it, adding things to it. Like there's things that need to be added to this project, this whatever it is you're working on. If you're even an artist, it's like a painting's not finished because some details. Now I just got something in my mind about someone out there is a teacher of some sort, maybe an art teacher, and you need to help a student or students finalize something where they need to pay attention to the shadows or something in the artwork that, it's very flat and it needs some dimension, and you're going to help them learn how to do that. There's little pieces to finalizing this. But overall, generally, I'm feeling like you're going to help take something to the next level by providing the necessary details to make it stronger. Details in it, this can be anything. Again, this is a general reading, so think about in work. What are you working on? If you're in a job, there is maybe a project that you're working on, and not all the pieces are there. And you know that. You're going to provide the details that people need to help the project come to life in a stronger way. If you are working on a group document or something, a spreadsheet, and you're saying, well, we need to include this, this, and this as well, people aren't seeing it, but you are. And I feel like you're going to be the key person to help bring it to life, to help provide all the necessary things that may be missing from this project. So it feels like Virgo to me, this energy. So I hope this makes sense to you. Again, please take this as how it applies in your life. I'm just trying to be very general about the energy I'm feeling, but it's all about you providing the necessary details and extra bits. I keep hearing extra bits to help bring this project or creation alive. So have a great week, and you have all the tools you need this week, dear Virgo. Okay, now we're going to move on to Libra. What do we have going on for you, Libra, for this week? Okay, dear Libra, for you, this week is very interesting. It is all about you financially coming into something great. I mean, you're feeling very good about where you are financially this week. And you're surrounded by people that you care about, they care about you. You're very happy and content this week. But there are a couple of things happening that are almost in opposite to that. And I'm not sure how this plays out for you. Remember, this is a general reading. Whether there's some secret or something that happened behind the scenes to make this happen that only you know about. And I don't know how you feel about this, actually. I feel like for you, there may have been a deal that was done that you weren't feeling very ethical about, or there was something that you weren't sure about, but you went ahead anyway. It ended up being a success, but how you got there, how you got to this success is troubling you in some way. And you know that this was the only way to make something happen. And you might have even had a business deal with someone that you didn't really care about, but in order to make this happen, you needed their help. If it was like a company, if you were, trying to do something with a company and this was a vendor, say, for example, that you didn't really care about doing business, but they had the product you needed to make this happen. There's some financial, and it's feeling very work-related to me, and I'm trying to figure out how to explain this to you generally that makes sense for everybody, because what I just said to you may not apply, but that's something that came up for me. You may have somebody in your company that has knowledge. You don't really want to work with them, particularly, because I feel like it's a person and you need them. Like for some reason you need somebody to make something happen. So in a work situation, if there are other colleagues that you work with, and you would rather not work with somebody because maybe they also don't have the drive that you have. This could be what I'm feeling too, is that somebody that you work with doesn't have the same drive you have to make something happen. And you have to work with them. You don't have a choice because their expertise, because I feel like it's somebody's expertise that you need. It's like you need them, you're relying on them to make something successful, but their personality or something about them, you don't want to work with them, but you have to. It's like if your boss says, okay, you two are on this team and you have to work together, that's it, you have to work together. And you're like, why me? I don't want to go through this because I know that it's going to be more work for me. That's what I'm feeling, like more work for me, because this person isn't going to pull their weight. I don't have a choice in the matter. Because I feel like for some of you, you don't have a choice, or you have to work with them because of their expertise. Because I feel like this is very much in a work scenario. The other thing I'm feeling right now is that other people are watching you or watching how this is going to play out. So again, this is a general reading. I don't know who specifically I'm reading for, so I'm just going to tell you how I feel it, and hopefully this will make sense to you. But people are watching you. I don't know if it's a person. So maybe there's a competition. So for some of you, you might be in sports and there is a competition against someone and you have to win. Like you know that it's not going to be easy to win against this particular person, but you are going to do the best you can. So maybe that's how the watching, because I feel like it's people watching. So maybe it's watching a sport and you're in sports, or you're playing a sport and you have to win this. So I'm giving you a bunch of scenarios here that are coming up for me. So hopefully one of these apply to you, but this is the energy I'm feeling. So let me try to do it in a general way for those of you who these scenarios aren't working for. Something that you have to achieve, and you will achieve it. That's the thing, is you're gonna win in this. This is a winning thing for you. But in order to do that, you have to associate yourself with someone who you don't particularly care about that person. So maybe it's a neighbor. Like, I'm trying to think of things that aren't in a work situation. Maybe it's a neighbor you have to deal with on a project in your community. Who knows? But whatever it is for you, there's someone that you have to connect yourself to that you're not happy about, because you're going to have to pull more weight into that scenario. So I know I went on and on about that, but I had a lot of things coming into me in this particular reading. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Remember, it is a general reading here, dear Libra. Okay, now we're going to move on to Scorpio. Let's see what we have going on for you, Scorpio, this week. Right away, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, the first thing that came up for me in this particular reading is there is going to be a needed change in your life that you are responsible for. I feel like you're going to make things happen this week. You are feeling very grounded this week, but you also have an opportunity. For some of you who are looking for a job, you have an opportunity for a new venture, a new job, a new career, something new in your life. But in order for that to happen, it's going to be a big change to a lot, to your lifestyle, to your way of living that you've lived. So there is an opportunity that could be coming in for you, for an exciting opportunity. I feel like it's exciting, whatever it is, and you're the right person for the job. But this job may take you away from your home. It may require more travel. It may require things that you have to really think about whether you want to do this or not. I feel like for you, it's a decision that you have to come to terms with as far as how much do you want to shake up your life. Is this an opportunity that's worth it or not? And I feel like this will be your contemplation this week. And again, will apply to people who are looking for a job. There is change coming for you, Scorpio, but it's good change. I don't feel like it's change that's going to shake up your life in a bad way. It all has to do with you, though. Your skills, what you know, how you handle yourself. This change is all going to be precipitated by you. So I feel like you're going to go after what you want. That's what I'm feeling. It's like you're going to go after what you want and you will get it. Where it comes down to, Scorpio, this week for you is, do you want it? Do you want this to happen? Because you know you can make it happen. That's what I'm feeling like, this feeling from you that I know I can make this happen. I have all the tools I need. I can make this happen if I want to. But do you want to? So again, I use the job scenario because that's what came up for me first. But again, think of it generally. You can make something happen in your life. What is it that you are involved in right now that you know you have the tools to make something happen? It could be even within a job. Maybe there's a promotion you want, or there's a specific job that you're looking to get, and you know that if you apply to that, you know you will get it. But your struggle this week is, do I want it? You have to come to terms with, if you're not on board 100%, don't do it. But if you are, then go for it. It's all up to you. But you have the power this week, Scorpio. I feel like it's pretty good and it's strong. I'm feeling a really strong power from you, that you know that you have the power to make something happen. And it's your choice this week. So you have choices to make this week, dear Scorpio. Okay, now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. I wanted to come out. Let's see what we have going on for you, Sagittarius. These two just like that. Okay, Sagittarius, the first thing that came up when I laid these cards down is anyone out there who is looking for love. You're not going to see it coming, but it's coming. It's like you're going to meet somebody. I see you just outside somewhere just doing your thing, whether you're a photographer or you're just reading out in a park or something, but there's something that you're doing this week that you're not paying attention to meeting someone. And this will only apply if you're looking to meet someone, but it came up right away, so I have to say it as usual. But there is going to be someone who is going to show up for you, and it's a complete surprise to you. You weren't paying attention. It's like, wow, where did you come from? So that's exciting for anyone out there who is looking for love this week. Also, I feel that anyone out there who is trying to have a baby, this could be the week that you get the news that you're pregnant. So very exciting, because there's someone new coming into your life that is going to touch you emotionally. And that to me brought up having this baby as well. Now, it could be a family member. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, but it could be a family member who is going to provide the news for you that they're pregnant. That's what I'm feeling here. Those are the first two things that came up as soon as I laid the cards down. It's exciting. I love when, fun things like that come up. Again, this is not going to apply to everyone because this is a totally general reading, but I'm going to give you all the energy I'm feeling, and hopefully something will resonate for you based on the energy, and I'm trying to give it general energy as well. For those of you who this doesn't apply to in regards to love, there is some project that you may be working on, a creation of some sort. And it's very important to you, whatever this is, because that's the overall general feeling I'm getting is whatever this is. And I think it's important to note here, whatever this is for you, it's important to you and it's something you cherish. So if you're an artist, for example, and you're working on a piece, you could be a musician too, because that just came up for me. There is something that is important to you to finish, to finalize. You also will get a piece of a puzzle this week that you may need to complete this project. So if you are a writer, musician, artist, there's something that's missing in your work, or you can't complete a piece, you're looking for something that's missing in your composition, in your story. If you're writing a book, there's a missing chapter, or you can't figure out what the ending is or the beginning is, or there's something. If you're writing a screenplay, it has to do with writing, has to do with art, the creative field of some sort. I'm really picking up strongly on that. If you even write a blog, there may be some piece that's missing. And this is important for you, and you're trying to figure out how to complete it. And you may be having writer's block, or you're just not creatively in that space this week. But I want you to know the message here is that it will come to you, whatever it is you're trying to finalize, because it's something that you're finalizing this week, or you need to finalize. That's what may be on your mind this week. But the message here is that you have to it's almost like you have to not focus on it, because I keep seeing a park, and I don't know why, but maybe go sit in a park. I don't even know where this park is. It's beautiful, but you need to go sit outside or do something in nature, because I'm really drawn to nature here, and just relax, and it'll be like amazing how it just comes to you. You either hear the tune that's missing in your song compilation that you're trying to put together, or you watch somebody, that's why probably in the park you'll see people walking about, and if you're writing a screenplay or a story or a book, you'll see them interact, and you'll be like, that's what my characters need to do. That's what I have to do. And you'll feel like it's all going to come together for you. But in order to do that, you have to step away from it and go to a place where people are interacting or there's nature involved. And it'll help bring that out for you. So that may be specific, but hopefully, generally, you can associate it to a certain part in your life. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Capricorn. Let's see what we have going on for you, Capricorn, for this week. Okay, Capricorn, for you, obviously I feel that some of you may have something that you're trying to finalize as far as contracts, something that has to do with it's legal in its matter, whether it's a legal contract or you have a court case or something of that matter. And you've finalized everything that you need to do. You've put in all your paperwork that you need to do, and now it's up to the judge. Because I feel like the overall energy here I'm feeling is you have done everything you can in some matter, but the decision is not going to be in your hands. It's going to be in someone else's hands. And that's why right away the court case came up for me. But you have done everything that you possibly can for this. And you've done it correctly too. But now it's a matter of, okay, now the decision isn't in my hands. Now, I'm sure that not every one of you who are watching are involved in a court case. So the general energy I'm feeling here is that there is something that you have been working on. Now, this could be because I see contracts or things. You might have been submitting something. So if you're a writer, you could be submitting a publication. You may be entering a contest of some sort. There's paperwork involved, okay? So I'm seeing paperwork involved here that you have to fill out. So I'm thinking entries. If you're entering a contest, if you're applying possibly to a job, this could be applying to a job where you have to fill out an application, and now you just have to wait to see if you hear from them. It's like you doing something, but it has to do with filling out forms, and then it's up to whoever. But I feel that it's in your favor. So if you are submitting something, if this does apply to you, again, this is a general reading, but this message is coming in very strong for me. So I feel like it needs to be said as specific as I'm saying it. But if you are involved in whether you're applying for a job, filling out forms, filling out paperwork for a court case, filling out something, it's like an application process. You could even be applying to be a citizen of a particular company or applying for a visa. Whatever you're applying to, you're filling out all the necessary paperwork that you have, and now it's up to whoever. You're waiting for the decision to be made. There's a control part where you have the control of filling out all the necessary pieces, but then you don't know. You have to just submit it and hope for the best, that you'll get it. The application will be received. The good news here for you is that I feel like everything will go in your favor. It is in your favor. So that's a positive thing. So the chances are, most likely, it will come to pass. So if you are feeling this way, again, this won't apply to everybody, but if you are feeling this way, good news for you, dear Capricorn. Okay, now we're moving on to Aquarius. What do we have going on for you, Aquarius, for this week? Okay, Aquarius. This week for you, what came up for me is that it's like you want to start traveling. There's something about traveling, and I don't feel like it's local travel. I feel like you're ready to take a trip to another country, long distance travel I'm feeling. Long distance travel. And the decision for you is, I am feeling this like I need to get out of here. Like I want to go. I want to go. You're driven. You know exactly where you want to go. For you, it's all about how am I going to pay for it. You're doing some math, you're figuring out, I want to go to this country, or maybe you want to go on a trip where you go to different countries. There's something about long-term travel for you. Now, again, this isn't going to apply to everybody, but it came up right away, so I need to say it to you. And for you, it's how am I going to get there? Like, I know this is going to cost me quite a penny to do what I want to do. But I'm feeling for you, Aquarius, there's this overall feeling of life is short. And again, this can be a general thing for most of you, is life is short and I want to do what makes me happy, or I want to take the chance to do what I've always wanted to do, and I got to figure out how I'm going to make it happen financially. How am I going to put it together? But I feel for you, Aquarius, you're going to get very creative. So if this travel thing does apply to you, you're going to get really creative on how you're going to make it happen. You may find hostels or different places, Airbnbs or different things that it might not cost you as much, but you're going to make it work. I feel that you're very excited about this. So for those of you this does apply to, you are very excited and it will happen, even though right now in your head you might be thinking, maybe I can only go to 2 countries versus 3 countries, or I might have to split it up over a longer period of time. That sort of feeling. Now, the other energy that I can explain this to, that if travel doesn't apply to you, because that was a specific thing that came up for me, is that you are looking towards your future and what it is that you want to do in your future and what it is that is important to you. That is a feeling I'm getting very strongly. So if travel isn't important to you, what is important to you? And where do you see yourself living? It's on a big level, like living, working, who you're with as a partner. What surrounds you in your life? That's the feeling I'm getting. What surrounds you in your life? And what it is that you want for your future. And what it is you need to do to get there. And for you, it's really thinking how you're gonna manage, because financial pieces come to play in everything that we try to achieve, right? If you wanna live in a certain community, maybe the taxes are higher there, or maybe the houses are more expensive. Or maybe you don't drive now and you'll need to drive then. How am I going to get a car to get there? So on this larger thinking, you have to be realistic about the monies that it will take for you to achieve your dream. And that's where you are this week, Aquarius, is really contemplating all of those things. So it's a great week for you because I feel like you're really opening up your storyline. That's what I'm feeling. You're opening up your storyline as far as how you're going to play out your life and how you're going to manage your life as you would manage if you were writing a story. How do you want your story to end? How do you want your story to play out? That's the feeling I'm getting for you, Aquarius. And I really like this energy because there's a thinking on a larger scale. You're not just looking at your everyday chores or everyday things that you're doing. You're really broadening your horizons of how you're going to be seen or how you want to see the world. So very exciting for you, dear Aquarius. Okay, now we're moving on to Pisces. What do we have going on for you, Pisces, for this week? Okay, Pisces. All right, I feel like something's happened that is not in your control this week, and I feel like it has to do with another person. Someone didn't have your best interest. They might have done something, said something, and you thought you could trust them. I feel like somebody either went behind your back, they did something that just wasn't good. It's like when your back was turned, they took advantage of you. And this is really specific. So when I put the cards down, a message comes up, I've got to say it. Your back was turned, they took advantage of you, and you got to figure it out. It's really bothering you. I feel a stressful energy. You thought you could trust someone. You might have asked advice for someone. If you're a creative person, you might have given somebody your idea and they ran away with it. They said, oh, I'm going to take that idea and make something of it. Somebody breached some trust in your life. Now, again, that's overall, generally, take it if you can relate to it. The message here is you've got to take control of how you're handling it. Because I feel like the issue here is, yeah, of course, the issue is that they just did something, but it's over now. I feel like whatever it is, it can't be undone, and you need to handle it better. Like you're letting it get to you and almost ruin all your future ideas. You've got to realize that you learned a lesson here. I feel like you've learned a lesson, and again, if this applies to you, but you've learned a lesson. And you have to realize that, okay, I learned this, now I know in the future, I will copyright everything I have before I share it with another human being, or, there's some lesson that you're gonna learn from this experience. And remember that sometimes these things that happen, they're not good, right? Nobody wants this kind of thing to happen to them, but it does. I mean, and you can't change your life where you're just going to be stuck on replay over and over and over, because now you're going to miss any future opportunities because you can't get over this. And I feel like for some of you, you're stuck here remembering this, and it's almost like you're turning into a statue because you can't move forward. And the message here is you have to move forward. You have to take this experience and say, okay, I couldn't trust this person, but it doesn't mean I have to not trust everybody in my life, but I have to be smart about it. You know, you're fair warned. You know now that, okay, I made a mistake here. I didn't have all my ducks, you know, I didn't check off all the things I needed to protect myself. But you also don't have to build a fortress around your life so that you can't move forward because you're stuck here. That's the message I'm getting, is you have to be able to move forward and realize that, you know, some people just, they're opportunists, and you learned. You know, you learned this lesson, and now just protect yourself. It doesn't mean you have to go around not trusting everyone, but just protect yourself in the future. And you'll be fine. It was an important lesson. If this does apply to you, and again, this may not apply to everybody here, but just know that you will learn this lesson, and it'll be a good lesson for you, because I think for you, you'll keep your eye out. You know, you'll be always looking at that, and I think it will help you in your future to make something even better. So just remember that. If that does apply to you, that is the strongest and only message that's coming up for me, Pisces. So again, it may just be a message for a particular few, but had to be said. All right, everybody, great week this week, and thank you for watching, liking, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to watch my 30-day daily tarot challenge, and where I pull a card a day and go over the card's meanings and help you navigate each day and see how that card shows up in your life. So enjoy the week, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.